So that's why I said there were 3 squares, and they might not have realized that the silver lining... the silver lining...
silver lining of the cloud. I was so concentrated on the grading. Because I like the grading and how things disappear. I was like, why are there holes in the stage? That chair just got stuck in the hole. And he just moved it out. Good boy, good boy. And then again, the same thing happened the next performance. And then it was like, why are there holes? And then like the ash, and there was like, man, now there's a mess. And then they came out with the brooms.
And they disappeared.
Oh, and then he stopped it. He stopped the broom.
Oh my god!
He
stopped the broom and took his.
That the first time I saw him do that, he was just like, oh, you've got problems, man. Oh my god.
You're crazy. But that was after their fight was stopped.
Yeah.
That was
after he came back and
he was
got
like,
honored
and all that shenanigans.
And he was like, I'm alive. I'm alive.
I've got
to get back at him. I have to redeem myself.
And I think that's when I think that scene is when we see him crack. When he's like, I need to do this. Oh.
Yeah, because the only way he could live with himself were to embrace that.
Mm-hmm.
And the need to just spend himself crashing against it. Like before it was, oh, we've been up against each other a number of times. Cool. And then you interrupted us.
You shamed me.
You took my sword.
I have nothing.
Oh, the sword fight on Wednesday was so beautiful.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. I have to say this. Do you have to say this as well?
I think so, yeah.
We have to say this. The sword fight on Wednesday was beautiful. The first time we saw it,
it was disjointed and
it was just
there was
a Saturday matinee that I'm going to say this. I felt the Saturday that, like, other than having my mind blown repeatedly by what I was seeing and how cool the thing was, because this is what I do. I analyze things while I'm watching them.
I analyze them after.
I analyze them while I'm watching them. Even though it was still very well done, I felt
like they were counting it, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5.
It felt like it wasn't coming naturally, like they weren't in sync with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a smaller aspect of something that I felt that I didn't manage to verbalize until like a couple days later after having several conversations.
Mm-hmm.
There was something in the performance where I felt like I was watching a great beast turning around, looking, not fully connecting to the things around it, and not knowing where to look, not knowing what to touch, not knowing how to connect with the things around it. And
it was very evident in the sword fight.
In the sword fight was when it was most evident.
Mm-hmm.
Just a sort of frantic desperation in this massive, powerful thing that this show and the participants in this show are. And on Wednesday, that was completely gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was like everything was in focus. Everything was connecting to everything else. Everything was connecting the way it was supposed to. Mm-hmm. And that sword fight was so beautiful. It was like perfect.
I thought they were going to hurt themselves at one point because they were so into it, and it was perfectly timed.
And then the sword like hit the ladder and bounced off, and it was like, whoa!
Was not expecting that.
And there were very different aspects to the two shows that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And Wednesday was so astoundingly amazing.
Yes. Wednesday was the one where I started blubbering. Wednesday was the one where I was just like, I can't do this. Sorry. But
and all I can say, having experienced those two, is that I want the one that gets shown on the National Live broadcast to be like that Wednesday, because it was so amazingly clear and powerful
and connected.
Connected, yes.
Connected. Very connected. Like, sometimes, like, on Saturday, I felt like the scene changes, even though there's movement in them, and there's action, and there's things, like, it was like, okay, that scene just finished, we need to go to this one. In Wednesday, it was like, that scene just finished, and this scene is a reaction to that scene, so
and the changes were part of it. It was choreography. The choreography was all knit together.
Yeah, there was no. It's like it didn't stop. Well, Wednesday it felt like it started.
Saturday.
Saturday
matinee.
Saturday matinee. It felt like it had trouble starting, and then it stopped, and then it started again, and then it stopped, and then it started again. Well, Wednesday it was just it started, and it didn't stop.
Yeah.
And it just kept going.
I need to check the timestamp again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Back. So the Saturday one, like it had trouble starting, and then it started and it stopped, and it started and it stopped and it started and it stopped, and then Wednesday it started and it kept going. It was like a train, and it could not be stopped, and each new scene piled on a new layer and a new desperation and a new expectation, and it just, at the end of it, it was so heavy and it had so much momentum, and it just. And it just, and it culminated. It actually culminated when he threw his sword away. Like, I didn't realize how powerful that was until Wednesday, when all that momentum was thrown aside. Like, his sword, the one thing that he counted on, the one thing that he knew to be his best aspect.
At that point, he understood that this was the time to put it down.
Yes. And all of that, all that momentum and tension, and just like, and it was gone. And you were like, what? It left me with that feeling like, I can't really grasp what just happened, because I was not expecting it. That his sword had that much meaning, and when he threw it away, he was completely left bare. He had no defenses, but he had his resolve.
Yes.
And it was just, it was silent. It was silent. It's not even...
And the betrayal.
Oh, the betrayal.
The betrayal and the realization of defeat was so
visceral.
Clearly expressed and visceral in that moment on the other side, because with his rival.
What it was is his Coriolanus's momentum in like what I was saying before in his sword, when he threw that aside, the betrayal, because it came so silent from his end. Like, there was calm, the betrayal was so tangible,
yes.
More so than it was Saturday, that it became, that I understood that scene. Before, I didn't really understand that scene, and I thought that the biggest part of it was his death, when the biggest part of that scene was his victory against his rival. By throwing away his sword and refusing to fight.
And Maggie's brain explodes again.
Oh, God! My life has changed. The meaning
Both
of
of our lives have changed. Thank you, Donmar.
Thank you.
Thank you, cast. Thank you, Coriolanus.
Coriolanus or Coriolanus?
I don't remember exactly.
But thank you.
I feel like pronouncing it Coriolanus.
It's like, I don't know. But thank you. Seriously.
Yes, thank you very much.
I feel like I understand the world better. And not just because I saw a play. It's because I experienced a play. I experienced a moment in time that reflects this time. So thank you very much. I do feel like I understand the world better. I feel like I'm just like, oh, so that's how it's supposed to go. Or that's what it's been doing. Or I understand that now because of this. It opened an understanding to how many connections go into, how many bonds go into making that decision, how many things influence this, how many different parts are connected. And I understood that before, but now I understand it.
With the capital U.
Yes. So, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you. I don't know what kind of accent that was. I think I got too serious again, and I needed to do something silly to make myself feel better.
I understand.
And just so you know, I am writing music for Coriolanus/Coriolanus. I'm going to write the Coriolanus suite. Coriolanus suite. Either one of those. I don't know how to pronounce it.
In my brain, I pronounce it Coriolanus. But I don't know if that's what I remember hearing.
I remember hearing Coriolanus, but my mind also wants to go to Coriolanus. I think it's because...
Maybe I've been pronouncing it wrong.
No, I think it's because I don't like saying the word anus.
This brings up something completely unrelated. When I started memorizing the sonnets, Shakespeare's sonnets, I'm memorizing Shakespeare's sonnets, like a lot of them.
Like all of them.
I'm up to 135 now or something like that.
So, something ridiculous.
Started on September 3rd, one a day. Niggardly. Niggardly, the word niggardly. The first time it crops up, it was okay, because it was niggardly. That was like sonnet 1. And sonnet 4, it crops up again. Niggard. And because it did not have the ly at the end, my brain did not want to say it because it so closely resembled the word nigger, which is a no-no. I had so much trouble convincing myself that it was okay to say this word that was not this other word that it's not okay to say. So I understand completely when I was thinking about not wanting to say Coriolanus.
Or the planet. Uranus. I always say it Uranus.
Oh, see, to me that sounds worse because it sounds like urine.
See, I didn't... Nope.
We're so off topic right now.
Yep. Sorry. It just...
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.